Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by lineups.com. Nate and Josh here for Thursday's 4-game slate in the NBA. Get into this stuff a little bit early, but wanted to go ahead and give you some looks that we have here, some best bets on the sides or totals, as well as plenty of player props in this episode. Bringing one episode to you each and every weekday moving forward. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and don't miss all of the NBA action all season. Nate, let's go ahead and jump into the Blazers and the Pelicans here for your first best bet for Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you can get it at this number, probably playable up to about 240, but this is a Pelicans team that is just fun, right? It's just the Derek Queen experience. It's all offense, no defense, no real wins. But in their last 5, while they've gone 0-5, they have played at a 102 pace with a 127 defensive rating. Queen has an individual 121 offensive rating. Jordan Poole might come back as well. He's upgraded to questionable, so that would only lead to the freewheeling, that basically makes them Washington Wizards West situation, right? And at home in particular, Nola has played even faster at a 104 pace, scored 132 a game the last 5 home games. Do they want to get, does their opponent want to get into a run and gun game? Well, the Blazers are your Huckleberry. They will gladly do that. They tried to go fast against Memphis last time out, 106.6, and had just a complete dud in terms of efficiency. Well, the Grizzlies are a top 10 paint defense with Zach Edey. In fact, they're like number 1 in the last 5. The Pelicans are number 30th, 28th. 28. There's only 30 teams. They're very, very bad defensively, especially when you put Queen down there, not really guarding anybody. It's possible Drew Holiday returns also. Another key update to watch because he was a huge lift early in terms of both the pace and the offense for the Blazers. Not really what we've seen in the past from Drew as far as being a lockdown defender, but he was sparking that. And Donovan Clingan, also a key injury to watch because the Pels have actually scored the highest percentage of their points in the paint in this last 5 hot stretch.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I like the Pels. I like parts of the Pels. Just shed away some of the unnecessary stuff here. I hate to say it, but they're probably gonna have to trade Herb Jones at some point. As much as we might love him, it's not gonna fit with the trajectory of this team. That said, Portland's gonna speed you up. The Pelicans are not gonna play defense, and they're also gonna continue to look better on offense when they have some of these sort of, like I said, secondary guys coming in who are turning into primary guys like the Fearses and the Queens who don't yet have it on defense. Derek Queen is a project on defense. So here's a man who's not a project. This is Russ Westbrook. He's an established man. I mean, look, he just loves playing against the Nuggets. So I'm going to parlay him to get his 30 PRA. This line is not up on the PRA for him yet. So I'm basing this on the last game that we had with him and where that closing line was. Is like 31, 32. And if this goes up 1 or 2, I'm okay with it. We've seen him go up in every metric when he plays against the Denver Nuggets since playing for the Denver Nuggets. That's the key here is don't look at this stuff against the Nuggets before. Not only did it coincide with when the Nuggets were way better on defense, he didn't have any incentive like he does now to go up against one of the, 5 or 6 teams that he's played on now. But his minutes go up by about 5 per game compared to his season averages when he plays against his squad 3 times already this season, averaging a really nice, 38 PRA per game in that time frame, taking a bunch more shots. Like the RA, if you wanted to do a 10 and 10 for him, he's out there in the starting lineup playing 32 minutes anyway. It just begs the question, why is Dennis Schroeder there? Why is whatever? I don't know what they're doing there in SAC, but I think the 30 PRA is easy. If I need to tell you why the Nuggets should win this game, there's nothing for them to look ahead to. There's no trap to be trapped by unless they just don't take Sacramento seriously at all. Let's see what happens with the injury report. If we just get a phantom thing for a guy like Nikola Jokic or even Jamal Murray, who they're always willing to give a breather to, but their rotation is thin, their offense is thin, and those two dudes have had to score 60% of their points over the last 3 games for Denver, and their defense is bad now. It's bottom 5 since Aaron Gordon and Christian Brown have not been in the lineup. Without both of them out there, we're looking at a 119.5, 120 defensive rating on the season for this squad. So they need those guys on defense. And because they don't have them, they need Murray and Jokic on offense. I expect this thing to be around a 10-point game. It's not going to be 20 points by any means. And that's going to only help, I think, the Russell Westbrooks and companies keep their minutes high.
Yeah, you need it to stay somewhat competitive. We talked the first time he faced Denver. We were like, it's not like revenge. It's just you want to show your ex you're still doing good, right? And he had a big game. Jokic is pretty much okay with anybody scoring because like the odds that he's not going to score on the other end against young Maxime Renaud are very, very slim,
Close,
right?
really close.
So yeah, this should be a freewheeling game as well. And the odds of the Nuggets losing a second straight time against the Kings on a rest advantage here, serious rest advantage, very, very slim as well.
Yeah, and I just want to set the record because his name is Maxime, and that's such a way cooler name than Maxime. So it's Maxime, which is, like I said, dope. Maxime, that's a girl's name. Come on, but let's get to the next one.
Oh man, we did him so dirty on Monday,
I
but he
know.
came through on the points prop. So
Yep.
we can call you whatever you want as long as you call me money. Okay, Rockets at 114.5 is the team total here. I mean, you might be interested in the over. I'm a little concerned, first of all, about the Clippers. Why did I say first of all? All right, 3, 2, 1. I'm a little concerned about the Clippers offense, though, against Amen Thompson and company. Again, when we talk about a rest advantage or just extra rest for a young team that's full of hound dogs. So I'm just going to pick off the Rockets team total and be like, this Clippers defense has been better lately, for sure, and better in the areas that you need to be against Houston. But they also haven't faced a well-rested Houston team that would just love to lay the smackdown on a rival. Who, by the way, they've dropped 120 a game on the Clips in their last 3. That includes 117 with the B team, with Reed Shepherd running and Cam Whitmore running in game 80 last year, where they rested everybody. So now you get Kevin Durant involved and the team that was the number 1 offensive rating for quite a while here in Houston. And you get a much, much worse Clippers defense. So, I mean, last couple of years, the Clippers have been stalwarts defensively. Since losing Derrick Jones Jr., it's just been tough for them to deal with anybody on the wing, let alone KD. We expect Şengün to come back from the illness that he's back at practice. Rockets are scoring 122 at home. They're scoring 125 on 2+ days rest. It's ascending, and it's an ascending split as far as they start at 117 on back-to-backs, and then every extra day of rest, they score more points because of their energy, right? Because their ability to crash the glass and just, 40, the crazy stat that it's a 40% O-read rate when Steven Adams is out there. I just don't think the Clippers can deal with the amount of force that they're going to play. And one way or another, I think Houston's putting up points.
That's fair. I don't know what to do with the Clippers. I just know that they're bad and that the effort is not there, and that I just don't think that even though Kawhi is what we might want to dub the claw, I don't know that he's coming in with that level of impact on that side of the ball either, man. So like, I guess he's the Kevin Durant guy. Kevin Durant should have 1 million points. It's why his points prop is all the way up at 26.5. Like, this team could not stop a pull-up jump shot if it tried. Everything in ISO is good for them. And Houston is a team that's their type of offense, man. It's just like they're an ISO-led offense with athletes that are just go one-on-one in different ways and shapes and form. And then they'll crash the offensive boards if that doesn't work. So I do like KPJ once again in the Celtics against the Celtics here. This Bucks squad, man, we'll see what happens. Like, it's actually a pretty good team if Giannis is on it. He's just not right now. But KPJ without Giannis so far upped his usage to over 30% in these last 3 games. And I'm saying 3 games because Giannis played 3 minutes in the game 3 games ago and then missed the last 2. 2 of those against Detroit by chance, but like similar style defense. 2 teams in the Celtics and the Pistons that do not give up assists. They're both top 5 limiting assists. KPJ is a guy that's going to go one-on-one consistently, probably going to have maybe not a height advantage if it's Derek White that's his main defender. It's like 6'4" on 6'4" right in that range, but 2 rangy guys. And I still like Kevin Porter Jr. to be able to get his against D White in a one-on-one matchup with a pretty spread floor. Even though we'll probably see 2 bigs out there with Jericho Sims and Miles Turner. They've both been starting for Milwaukee since Giannis went down. I guess they can do that here if you want to put Miles Turner on like Jordan Walsh. There's no real power forward, and you don't want Miles Turner on Jaylen Brown, I would imagine. So we'll see what that looks like for the spacing, but it didn't really matter for KPJ because he's also just crashing to the rim, getting free throws, getting stuff right inside the paint. That's where the Celtics are super weak. They are going to continue to defend the rim at a really good rate. Like, Joe Mazzulla will you know what I mean? He will not allow it, right? He will do so many things before he watches his team give up points in the paint or allow spot up shooters to do stuff. But that just reeks of, okay, KPJ, go do your thing, get us a bucket, and hopefully help us keep this game close by doing that.
Yeah, and the primary ball handler, the primary playmaker has gotten over against the Celtics in about like 5 of their last 6 games. So it is a consistent approach. I was looking at this as well in terms of an early look because like I think it's always an audition, right? It's got to hurt your feelings a little bit to be like, hey, we're a pretty good squad, Giannis. Like check us out. Like I would definitely lean towards the Bucks covering this at home. Plus 9.5. Is this really where we're at? Remember at the beginning of the season when I was talking about the Celtics winning, just staying above 500, and people were like, "You're crazy," and now we're too scared to back them to go against them at plus 9.5 at home for the Bucks. I mean, we got some pride. We got Bobby Poe though. We they're
Yeah,
gonna bring it in Milwaukee in a rivalry game. I mean,
they will.
crazy shooting splits for Bobby Poe so far this season, as far as being an emotional player and wanting to hit those shots at home. 56% at home. He's shooting 31% from 3 on the road. So I mean, I think Boston's probably still fine with him shooting in the mid range and taking threes and like, yeah, just trying to deal with those two guards who, while they attack a lot, Porter Jr. and Rollins, they're willing passers as well. So I think they'll be kicking it out to Bobby, who got off to a pretty hot start in the first two after Giannis went down, right? 35 and 13 over 2 games. His minutes per game jumped a lot in terms of 28 in those two. And I mean, he's averaging 21 and a half PR in just 23 minutes per game in total here without Giannis. Celtics still pretty vulnerable on the glass. So I think that's why I'm adding the rebounds along with him just being more aggressive at home.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that might actually be how he gets some of these points. Like that's these types of players give the Celtics trouble down low with their scoring or lack thereof pretty consistently. So, big man, low number for the rebounds here for Ivica Zubac. Can't imagine this stays at 9.5, but you know what? I don't mind it at 10.5 as well for Vika in this matchup. Like there's nothing really about the Rockets that give much of an edge to too many things, but I think good, strong centers down low are going to be that for them. Now, obviously, like with Steven Adams out there, that's going to keep this number low. Like that's just what this is Steven Adams is not on the injury report right now for Houston. Neither is Alperen Şengün, and that would lead to potentially some more trouble for Vika rebounding here. But I still think that this is a number that he's going to climb over I'm not going to say with ease, but I think 10 is a very reasonable projection for him with a ceiling closer to like 12 or 13. And yeah, this is already going to start rising, I got to imagine. But in the games that he's played against this team too, like he's up at about 18 rebound chances, 11 rebounds per game. Once this gets to 10.5 over flat, like once it gets to 10.5 minus 135, then you're going to start to lose me too much just because of the Steven Adams factor on the other side there, and maybe not quite as many just easy defensive rebounds and tip-ins and things like that for Zoo in that situation. So that would be the fear on the boards there. But if the double-double is also probably about even money, a little bit minus 110 in that range, like I still think that's going to be something that you just have to consistently take for Zubac if you're playing him 34 minutes, which is what you're going to need with such a big line. Which, by the way, the Clips are playing big too. You got John Collins and Kawhi both in your front court. You're going to be able to handle some stuff. Like it's not like there's going to be double teams coming Zoo's way or anything like that.
Did you know that he had his first and only career triple double against the Houston Rockets in that game I mentioned, game 80, where the Rockets sat a bunch of people? Not
Right.
sure if Steven Adams
That's
was
right.
out there at all, but
Right.
just a little fact there to throw
Love that.
out there. But yeah,
Good
I mean,
trivia.
the bigger thing is I mentioned the Clippers are doing much better defensively. Number one, limiting offensive rebounds. And like, who are you crediting for other than Ivica Zubac for that? I mean, Kawhi and Collins, they'll help out, but it's about Zoo.
Yeah.
All right, sticking in this game and weird SGP here for you because Harden is on a crazy hook for his threes. I mean, it's minus 170 for him to hit 3. And if you go for 4 threes, I'm just like a little nervous about that, although it's plus 140. So we'll say he doesn't get the assists, but he hits at least 2 threes. Theory being he doesn't test the paint as much against these type of athletic teams that protect the paint really well. You look at, I mean, he's taken 11.3 attempts and hit 4 in the last 3 matchups of this sort, Memphis and Atlanta. And last 2 against Amen Thompson. He's 6 for 17 from 3. He's only taken 12 2-point attempts and only gotten to the line 9 times, way down for Harden. Yeah, they're not playing that, right? I mean, he's just so good limiting drives, assists off drives, free throw attempts. That's where Amen is great. And Harden sizing him up, I think is just gonna, it's sort of like an admission that like I'm not gonna beat you off the dribble, so I'm just gonna take one of my crazy step backs. If he does that 10 to 12 times a game, like I count on two of those going in. And then as far as the assists, the Clippers have the sixth worst assist rate since Kawhi returned. Harden's assists are way down in those. And I mean, yeah, but he has hit shots, especially on extra rest. Look at last year, he shot 45% from three on the 2+ days versus compared again a de-escalator down to 30% on back-to-backs. The less rest he had, the worse he was shooting the ball.
Yeah, that's fair for Harden. I think, yeah, there's going to be a couple of ways to play him. I definitely don't love the points for him necessarily once they get up to like 25.5. I think that's already been bet down to 24.5, which is much more reasonable. I think the key here for him is just going to be like the on ball stuff. He's going to have his way a bit more. Like there's not going to be someone that you're like, well, there's the Harden guy that's just going to be hawking him the whole time. And you got to be able to believe that he's going to be putting up those step back threes like he has in history against Denver. But let's stay in this game. I'm really proud of you for finding a profile image of Spencer Jones. That's not widely available all the time, but he's at 6.5 points, and I think you're going to have an opportunity to play a little alt on 10 plus for him too if we get this at a good number. But for the points here, like I think this is just a spot where he's going to be starting. The floor, really the sort of expectation at this point is 25 minutes for him, and there's always a consistent world where if they actually take care of business against the Kings, he's getting up closer to 28 to 30 minutes in that time frame, and then playing a few more minutes without one of Jokic or Murray on the floor. And then there's guys on the second unit that might come in, play with him, like Bruce Brown and other guys that just aren't looking for their shot first. And he's going to be a spot up shooter against the Kings defense that it's kind of bad from everywhere, man. It's tough to like pinpoint how you want to do. It's also fluctuated. Like they used to be really good against the spot up. Now they're actually really bad against it. It's just because they're bad on defense. And honestly, Doug Christie, one of the few coaches right now that just isn't really getting it done personally, specifically. But for Spencer Jones, more importantly, it's just the spot. Like I said, you take a young guy in a game where like they should handle business. It's not like they have to rest guys because they have games coming up necessarily. But again, it's the Kings, man. Like if you're starting and you're playing 30 minutes, then if he's up at even if he's at like set 6 shots in this game, I'm still okay with that because he's also getting to the line a couple times in 25 minutes. And this Kings defense will give it up from the free throw. I mean, they'll give up transition, they'll give it up in the free throw line. It's really wherever you want to score, and especially in the corners too, where he's scored now 17% of his points in the last 3 games from the corner as well. That was one thing that stuck out to me.
Yeah, it's audition time, right? I mean, he's hungry for it. The Nuggets they want to see what they have in both him and Watson because it seems like Aaron Gordon's going to be out a long time and it's, a potential re-injury risk. So they want to make sure they can stay afloat with one of these guys filling the gap.
Yep, absolutely. But that is all the time we have for you guys in this one. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We'll be back here with everything you need for Friday as well. And until we see you next, happy betting.